The standard path to wealth is followed by millions, yet few ever reach the destination. This suggests the map itself might lead somewhere else entirely. From a young age, the instructions are identical. Just study hard, find a stable career, and trade time for a salary. You are told to save what is left over and repeat the cycle for 40 years. The promised reward for this lifelong commitment is a secure retirement in your later years. Following these steps without analyzing their internal logic is the first move toward a predictable financial result. If these instructions were effective, we would see a direct correlation between hard work and financial freedom. Instead, we see a workforce that is exhausted and struggling. The rules of money taught to the public function as a system that maintains a status quo of financial stagnation. While the majority follows this script, a small group of investors operates on an entirely different set of principles to build their wealth. We are going to examine the specific financial mechanics that allow this gap to widen in silence. When you apply maximum effort to a broken strategy, the result is permanent labor rather than prosperity. Wealth is rarely lost in a single event. It typically disappears through habits that go unnoticed. This drain is effective because it mimics the appearance of a safe, middle-class life. Every month, the paycheck arrives and is immediately distributed to cover basic recurring bills. Small, frictionless transactions follow: digital subscriptions, minor retail purchases, and convenience spending. This diagram shows the impact of consumer loans and monthly installments. Each new commitment creates a permanent outward flow of capital. When capital is diverted into dozens of small channels, it becomes mathematically impossible to accumulate the surplus needed for investment. Because these expenses are seen as normal markers of modern life, the systematic drain remains invisible to the person experiencing it. A single financial choice carries little weight, but those same decisions repeated hundreds of times over a year create a definitive trajectory. These micro-decisions eventually form an inescapable lifestyle structure that dictates your financial future. Day to day, nothing feels wrong, but as the years pass, the cumulative effect of these drains begins to mount. After 20 years of labor, the data reveals the cost: thousands of hours worked with no net increase in wealth. Despite decades of following the rules, the goal of actual independence remains out of reach. Time scales the math of your lifestyle. When that lifestyle is built on a series of drains, decades of hard work result in a deeper financial hole. The wealthiest investors do not view their time as something to be sold for a linear wage. They focus their efforts on building systems that take existing capital and multiply it, functioning independently of their physical presence. This shift from being a manual earner to a system builder is the variable missing from the traditional financial path. Financial freedom is not a byproduct of a high salary. It is a result of understanding the mechanics of how money moves through an economy. Remaining in the earner model ensures that your financial ceiling is limited by your own energy. Reaching a different outcome requires a move from selling time to building systems. In our next chapter, we will examine the specific invisible habit that destroys wealth, even for high-income earners.
Most people believe that increasing their salary is the guaranteed path to getting rich. We are conditioned to see the size of the paycheck as the primary metric for wealth. But every year, millions of people receive salary increases and promotions while their net worth remains stagnant. They remain trapped in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, a trap that catches high earners just as effectively as those at the bottom of the ladder. Income on its own does not create wealth. Earning a high salary is entirely disconnected from the actual accumulation of assets. This happens because of lifestyle inflation. It quietly consumes every raise. The extra money is immediately diverted into a bigger house, a newer car, and more expensive vacations. These purchases convert into permanent monthly liabilities, locking earners into payments that never seem to end.
There is a difference between enjoying life and allowing a baseline of consumption to expand until it hits the ceiling of your earnings. The middle class remains trapped because they have been conditioned to confuse the visible act of spending with actual financial success. The wealthy view these moments differently. While the consumer asks, "What should I buy?" the investor asks, "Where should I invest?" They use capital allocation to disrupt the inflation cycle before it can begin. Under this mental model, a dollar is not a consumable good, it is an employee. Each unit of currency is sent out to work. These worker dollars operate independently, generating future income streams that do not require the owner's physical labor. Consumers trade money for temporary utility. Investors trade money for permanent leverage. This psychological shift regarding the utility of a dollar is the dividing line between those who spend and those who own.
Consider two individuals who earn the exact same high salary over a 20-year career. On the left, the consumer's trajectory shows income and expenses rising in parallel. 2 decades of work have passed, but the space between what they earn and what they keep remains empty. On the right, the investor keeps their living costs flat. As their salary increases, the widening gap is filled with the systematic purchase of assets. After 20 years, the compounding effect of those assets generates enough independent income to replace their original salary entirely. These identical incomes produced opposite realities based solely on the decision to acquire assets. This is the reality of the modern asset economy. The system is designed with a set of hidden rules. It quietly and continuously rewards those who hold equity and physical assets. It simultaneously penalizes those who rely solely on a paycheck, as inflation erodes the value of their labor over time. Financial freedom is the successful migration from the consumer side of this system to the owner side. Crossing that divide successfully is never just a matter of luck. It requires a very specific and entirely repeatable strategy. A single financial principle has created more millionaires than any high-paying job in history.
There is a formula we are all taught from the beginning. If you want to build wealth, you put your head down and log more hours. You take the late shifts, you skip the family dinners, you trade your physical energy for a marginal raise or the promise of a promotion next quarter. But there is a strict mathematical limit to this approach. There are only 24 hours in a day, and a human body can only withstand so much exhaustion. Looking at this chart, you can trace the trajectory of income generated by labor. It rises steadily as you gain experience, but eventually strikes a hard, immovable plateau. Once you max out your time, your earning potential stops. The wealthiest investors recognize this ceiling early on. They step away from this equation entirely. Instead of selling their hours, they sever the connection between their income and their physical presence. Working hard guarantees a paycheck, but it cannot scale. Escaping the cap requires a totally different mathematical approach. This equation replaces active labor with passive growth. Capital multiplied by time equals wealth. Think of it like planting a tree. For years, the surface soil remains completely undisturbed, but beneath the dirt, a dense root network expands downward. A new investment portfolio operates on the same principle. You allocate your capital, and you wait. In the beginning, the progress is imperceptible. The initial dividends amount to pennies. The balances barely shift. It is a quiet, grueling process. Human biology demands immediate feedback, and when weeks of saving yield almost zero visible reward, the frustration sets in. Right here, in this window of low visibility and high friction, the vast majority of people close their accounts and walk away. They mistake invisible progress for zero progress. Pushing through this perceived stagnation is the only way to reach the stage where time begins to do the heavy lifting. This graph tracks a patient portfolio. For years, the line scrapes the bottom in the invisible phase. Eventually, capital reaches critical mass. Interest begins generating its own interest. Crossing the inflection point, wealth multiplies autonomously, without logging a single extra hour. Unlike the labor trap, where every dollar costs a fraction of your life, this growth is autonomous. The need to trade your personal ambitions for a paycheck disappears. Reaching this threshold is the sole mechanism that separates your financial security from the physical labor of your own two hands. Yet, highly capable people miss this threshold every day. They fall victim to a behavioral pattern known as the perfection trap. They construct logical reasons to delay. They wait for a larger salary, a cooler economy, or a flawless entry point. The irony is fatal to their net worth. By waiting on the sidelines to eliminate risk, they are actively draining the exact resource required to multiply their money. Money is fluid. It can be spent, lost, and earned again. But time is non-renewable. Every second is permanently removed from your compounding window. Your current net worth is less relevant than your current momentum. The immediate priority is deploying whatever capital you hold today into the market. The calculation that matters is identifying when you will finally permit your capital to work independently. Your financial future is dictated by the decision you make today to simply start, far more than by the size of your current income. To analyze the mechanics of investing and financial freedom, subscribe to Intel Shift. Each decision you make today defines your future reality.